The college football experience, BYU Cougars 2025 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Yes, get up to $1,000 deposit match when you sign up at underdogfantasy.com. But when you do, make sure you use our promo code because that's what you're going to need to get it. It is promo code TCE SGPN. So do that. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
Hey everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Football experience, BYU Cougars style 2025 season preview episode. This is for the longtime listeners. I feel like this is always their favorite episode to have me try to name these players. So shout out to Welcome to UAB, which I know probably saves all of them on a flash drive somewhere. Look, youtube.com/the college experience. We are breaking down every single team in the land, all 136 of them. We are in the midst of just bagging out episodes. We did a triple header yesterday, double header tonight. We have the UTEP Miners coming up next. But yeah, get on over there and make sure you subscribe on the audio side too, because I was at ACC Media Days, I was at Mountain West Media Days, and there were certain episodes that I did where we did not have camera. So we just went audio, and it's out on Spotify, it's out on iTunes. Subscribe over there, folks, as we talk BYU Cougar football for the next hour, just about. Look, and smash play last year. I did take the over on the BYU Cougars. And if you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, my name is Colby Swing at Database Dan, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I'm probably drinking too much and celebrating too much and not sleeping. Would have killed a normal man, but no, that's gone. The medical advice I got from that was like being hit by lightning. Pretend it never happened and get on with your life.
This is BYU football, baby. You know I love it. One of the reasons I love college football is you get variance. You know, you got all different. You got religious institutions. You got private schools with small enrollments. You got service academies. You got big city teams going up against small city teams. It is the most fantastic sport on the face of the fucking planet. I am joined by my co-host. He is also the host of the College Basketball Experience. And I mean, the BYU Cougars, I think, might be the most interesting team in college hoops this year. And when the season goes live with college hoops, we'll be live every night, like we are each and every year, but on the College Basketball Experience. But we're also live every night of the college football season as well. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, South Carolina with the Gamecocks, and West Virginia with the Mountaineers, Ryan McIntyre, aka Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother? Not a strong start.
What's up, man? Let's talk some BYU Cougars, baby. Let's go.
Oh man, he that was a delayed response. That was the old tight end delay right there, right? Tight end delay. His reception looking like a video game in Sega Genesis 92 edition, I would say, of like I don't know, Sonic the Hedgehog or some shit. Anyway, buddy, I hope you're good. And I hope you're ready to go and talk Coug football because their fan base is phenomenal and they're everything that is great about college football, in my opinion. So let's get into it. Shout out to the chat. Come be a part of the chat. Because that is always fun. Love when they talk shit to us. Moneyline Mac has exited. So we will go to the slideshow so we can just admire their awesome uniforms. Remember when they messed around in the 90s late 90s, early 2000s, and they had like this blue uniform with like a different helmet. It was just criminal. This uniform is fire, in my opinion. YouTube.com/the college experience. Yeah. So the chat. Sorry about that. But because Moneyline Max having technical problems, he will be back in a minute, I think. But Matt, what a season a year ago. Kalani Sitake, my guy. I remember when they seemed like they wanted him out a few years back. 72-43 in his career as a head coach. Big fan of Kalani Sitake and what he has done and how he's weathered the storm. Because I think at two different instances in his career there at Provo, and he's a former player there, by the way. Played fullback for them way back in the 90s, I believe. I'm just glad to see. I'm a big Kalani Sitake fan. I think he does a hell of a good job as a coach. He was 10-3 in 2021, 8-5 in 22, 5-7 his first year in the Big 12, and I think that was one of the ones I think people were wondering. I thought it was more of the ball bouncing the wrong way. That's why I loaded up on him last year, and we cashed in on that over. 11-2 in 2024 for Kalani Sitake. And look, I know what they'll say. So some of the haters will say, well, I don't even understand why they weren't mentioned for the playoff talk. They should have been mentioned for playoff talk. I don't understand it. They had a better resume to me than a lot of other teams. I like the conversation, the narrative that it was just Alabama that was left out. I don't understand how BYU had a win at SMU. At SMU, and their only two losses were to Arizona State, who won the Big 12, and then Kansas when Kansas got healthy. Kansas I know was 5-7, but still, it's not like Oklahoma was a great, with like 6-6, and they play one less conference game. So they're on the same path to me there. But man, some of the wins they had were phenomenal, and I don't think they honored that correctly, in my opinion. So hopefully, moving forward, they pay a little more attention and put a little more respect on these BYU Cougars and Kalani Sitake. And shout out to Monty Pritchett. Yes, this is a friend of the program's. Rest in peace to the great Mike Leach. This is his alma mater. So there we go. But Sitake, I think, is doing a damn good job. It's funny. I want to say last season, some people had him on the hot seat. The question is, I wonder, is if he has a season like he did in 23 when they were 5-7, is he still on the hot seat? I hope not. 11-2 in your second year in the Big 12. Mac, where you at with Kalani Sitake, man?
I love Sitake, man. He's a BYU guy. I know he was a Whittingham guy before, but I thought he got a lot of heat in the transition from the independent into the Big 12. They took a couple tough losses year one, but a nice bounce back year, a great bounce back year last year, 11-2. I love Sitake, man. He's a football guy. He does not subscribe to the soft air. That's for damn sure.
Well, in 2023, they made a cardinal mistake. You've heard of, whooping cough. You've heard of plenty of other, well, I love how that's the first disease I thought of. But they had a case of Keaton Slovis. All right. Keaton Slovis will ruin your football season. Like the whole team will get it, and you don't know how to get out of that. So they had a case of Keaton Slovis. That's why they went 5-7. But yes, he's done a phenomenal job in my opinion. And look, this year the offense, Aaron Roderick does a great job as OC there. Last season, 40th in scoring offense, 60th in pass offense, 68th in rush offense, starting at the 59th best offense. They're more of a defensive team, but come on. Sitake was a defensive coach at Utah after playing fullback. He was with Whittingham there. Now we all know I believe Treyson Bourguet is going to get the start. He started at Western Michigan a few years ago in some wacky action. I think he's the quarterback moving forward, if I had to guess. I know it's going to be a competition. I know they have a Bachmeier, a Hillstead, and a few other guys, but I liked Bourguet when he played at Western Michigan. It was just a small sample size, but I remember saying, whoa, I like this kid. We'll see. 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions in his career. I think he's going to get the starting nod. The thing I have a problem with here, Mac, is if people aren't aware of what happened, Jake Retzlaff got ass before getting married, and he got the boot. This came out in court, so I just have a hard time. Yeah, allegedly she was a Utah fan, or I don't know. But I can tell you this: you're telling me, friend of the program, Jim McMahon, when he showed up to Bears training camp in 82 or whatever it was, 81, with a case of beer and a cooler. You're telling me this guy wasn't getting scattered ass in Provo? You're telling me that? You're telling me that a first round draft pick from California? You're telling me he goes there and he's just not grabbing scattered ass? What about Sark? Sark was fired from the USC Trojans for being drunk. Look, I'm just saying, I can't believe they actually did this to the kid. I know they have their beliefs, and I respect that because I think that's what's great about college football, like I alluded to, that you have all these different schools with their different views, and I think that's good. That's healthy for the game, in my opinion. But it is hilarious to think that Retzlaff, who just took them to a double-digit win season, is getting the boot because he had sex. Which is when you give a college kid lots of money. This is going to be I just feel like it you can't tell me that the rest of the team's not having sex with women or men, whatever, right? Right? You can't tell me.
well, hey, this is BYU though. Remember Brandon Davies, the middle of the Sweet 16? He's gone for the rest of the year. I mean, it's BYU.
Jim McMahon did what did Lavell Edwards just? There was no social media, right? Because you're telling me Jim McMahon walked the straight path.
What about Zach Wilson?
Yeah, I mean, come on,
Zach Wilson.
Come on,
and his mom's in the mill south.
Come on, but look, if Bourguet can play like at the level I think he's capable of, now I don't know that he's truly going to start. I just think he's the best that I've seen. I mean, Bachmeier was a big recruit, so maybe it's him. I don't know, but Bourguet, I'm just guessing, is going to get the start. He's a little more athletic. I can see it working out. So, he's back. LJ Martin is back, a guy that's rushed over 1,200 yards and 14 touchdowns in Provo. Chase Roberts is back, a guy that has over 1,700 yards receiving and 12 touchdowns. The offense, Mac, got some guys, 3 of 5 back on the O-line as well. It's just that $1 million question. And they, how will the quarterback play be? Because they did hit the portal. They brought in Bear Bachmeier and Tiger Bachmeier from Stanford. Those were late additions when Stanford fired Troy Taylor. I like those gets long-term for the program. I just don't know about Bear instantly, but Tiger I think will be an impact player this year. Carsen Ryan comes in from the Utah Utes. Just disgusting. But yeah. I mean, we got to have rules. Kean Need, a tight end from Bronco Mendenhall in New Mexico, come in. And 2 offensive linemen, Andrew Gentry from Michigan. A guy on the line of scrimmage from Michigan. Okay. And then an FCS guy in Kyle Safark. I'm guessing from the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah. Mac, will this offense be better than 59th in the nation in 2025?
Great question. I mean, I know Retzlaff didn't have the sexy numbers, but I thought Retzlaff was a gamer. I thought Retzlaff made plays when the game was hard, like big time plays, extend drives on third down. He was a football player, in my opinion. He wasn't soft. He wasn't a pussy. And so the quarterback change, it sounds like it's going to be a little bit of a competition. But I love LJ Martin. I thought LJ Martin's been a productive running back for multiple years. I think Roberts is obviously 1,800 career receiving yards. So they have pieces, especially on the offensive line, but I kind of think they'll take a slight step back just because of the unknown at the quarterback position. And we've seen BYU, when they have the quarterback right, they're pretty damn good. So it's a mystery position for
And
them.
I will say that one thing about Sitake, and I think they deserve to be in the playoff conversation. You were gone when I was mentioning that, Mac, that I thought they got completely robbed. Like, they deserve the same amount of attention as, to me, South Carolina and Alabama and stuff. But they did win a lot of close games. And I think we all remember the Oklahoma State game the most. But
Yeah. Crazy.
even the UCF game, the Utah game, the Holy War, but that's always crazy. There was a lot of the SMU game was a close game, but that was at SMU. You know what I mean? Baylor game was a close game. And now I'm forgetting. I think the Arizona State game was a close game. Remember, because of the controversial ending there.
They lost it at the end. The Utah game was mayhem. I think Greg Sankey pulled my Wi-Fi because he knew I was gonna say that it was bullshit that the SEC teams should have been in over BYU. BYU got robbed. They should have been in over SMU.
Shout out to Angela in the chat. Jim McMahon and a longtime BYU. Look, Jim McMahon is a great guy, friend of the program. He's been on the show a couple times. Hell of a good guy, and like, it's crazy. I know he would never want to play in today's era, just from asking him that. But if you go back and watch the tape before the injury from the DN Martin on the Packers in like 86 or 86, I think it was, McMahon was super fucking athletic. I think more athletic than some realize. Like, the guy would be, I know I've had this conversation with Coach Leach before. Like, he's like, dude, in today's era, he would be just absolutely nasty because he had a cannon. He had a cannon too. BYU, is it quarterback you? It might just be. Yeah, but I'm with you. I think the offense, slight regression. Now the defensive side of things, Jay Hill, I was all over this, man. Part of the reason why I locked it up last year.
Love Jay Hill.
I mean, dude, I loved him when he was head coach of Weber State. Prior to that, I believe he was at Utah as well. Like, he's a guy that knows what the hell he's doing. I'm glad to see he's healthy. You know, he had a health scare. 18th best scoring defense in the nation, 20th best pass defense, 33rd best rush defense, charting at the 13th best defense in America. And that is kicking ass, buddy. Now, yeah, I'm with Ryan in the chat here. Yeah, I mean, he is a very, very, and if you follow the FCS, I host the FCS College Football Experience, and I've been watching the FCS for a long time. If anything, I'm not doing enough episodes this offseason because of all the content making these slides and stuff. But that dude was a really good coach in the FCS for a while there. That was such a sneaky good hire. The defense, though, Jack Kelly is back. He's a beast, one of the best linebackers in the Big 12. A name to watch because he emerged as the season went on there. They only bring back 3 on the defensive side of the ball. 2 linebackers with Kelly and Glasker, and then free safety Tanner Wall. Kicker and punter are back if it is a close game, but a little concerned that the D line, which, but the thing is, Sitake and Hill, I feel like, just are good at the line of scrimmage. They're good at establishing the line of scrimmage offensively and defensively. They went out to the portal. They brought in Tassili Akana from Texas on the D line, Alvin Pufua from Hawaii on the D line, and Anisi Purcell from the Thunderbirds of Southern Utah, Justin Kirkland from Oklahoma State. That's a good. Can we get more names like that for me? I'm joking, guys. Look,
You must feel like that.
Keanu Tanuvasa. That guy's a beast from Utah. He's going to start, I think, for BYU. Linebacker Max Alford from Utah State and safety Tavion Beasley from San Diego State, all coming in on the defensive side of the ball. Mac, can they top 13th in the nation with the brand new defensive line?
That's a tall task, and obviously I've grown to love BYU. Just friend of the program, Rambling Rush Bishop, and his family have so many BYU ties. So I feel like I've been following the BYU program for so many years. He's the one that said how good Jay Hill was going to be when he came over from Weber State. So I trust the culture. I trust Sitake. I trust Hill. But I mean, better than 13th, that's a tall task. Especially with how many close games they played last year. They'll take a step back, but I still think they'll be a solid unit because Sitake has a good culture.
Yeah, I think they'll be a top 25, top 30 defense. Now, I think their offense might not be on the field as much with the quarterback situation, which will put more pressure on that defense, which can skew the numbers some. So if I think slight regression in both, despite you could argue that this year's schedule is easier. You could make that argument. We'll talk about the schedule. We'll talk about the state of the BYU Cougars program. But before we do that, I want to let you know that you are listening to the College Football Experience BYU style. We are part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network, and look, the Sports Gambling Podcast, they're doing their 32-team NFL preview series, and they're also bringing back the phrase that pays. Each episode, they'll give out one word of a 32-word phrase. Submit that phrase for a chance to win $1,000 Circa future. And we're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on every single sport, including all the summer sports, MLB, CFL. I'm betting the heck out of the CFL. WNBA, golf, racing, tennis, and all the college football and NFL futures are out there, folks. MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well, even outside of the States. You can easily deposit, get lightning fast payouts using crypto. Head on over to mybookie.ag. Use our promo code when you do. That's TCESGPN for 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Terms and conditions apply, of course. That's mybookie.ag. Promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. As they just dropped a new game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's motto has consistently won and has a very high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that wins 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit a certain range. MLB Power Trends are 254 and 147, by the way. A win rate of 63% and an ROI of 4.5% in their last 400 bets. And the WNBA Power Trends even better with 20.7% ROI. Look, Power Trends are updated daily, exclusive to Rhythm and Rhythm only. No touts, no noise, just clean data back bets, baby. So download the Rhythm app, check out Power Trends, and start betting smarter. You know damn well we will be. Get your free 7-day trial period today. SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's SportsGamblingPodcast.com/rhythm. All right, we are back. Shout out to the fans in the chat. Or maybe they're not fans. Shout out to the people in the chat. Maybe they're there just because they hate me. They could be Utah fans. It could be, I look, Utah does college athletics correct. Really. The state of Utah. A 100%. Big fan of all those programs. Yeah. Utah Valley needs to start their football program. If I were them, I would start their football program. The Wolverines. Part of the state of the program, though, is not only coaching, head coach staff, roster retention, transfer portal, recruiting, NIL, premarital sex, soaking, all that has to do with state of the program, but also so does the stadium and the fan base. And Mac,
it's a great one. It's a great stadium.
This is top 10 to me. This is top 10 in college football. This is top 10 in college football to me. Lavell Edwards, you might remember him. He was a legendary BYU coach. Won a national championship in the 80s at BYU. I am so sick of these people. Oh, the Big 12 can't win it. We have proof in my lifetime. BYU and Colorado have won national championships. So please shut the fuck up. Lavell Edwards Stadium, 61 years young. 10 of 10, dude. This thing. Look, if I die, I'm just saying, spread my ashes in the end. They have a great baseball field too, but look at this thing. Are you kidding me? The NFL has nothing even remotely close to this stadium being like this great. Nothing. This is a top 10 college football stadium. If you have not, and their fan bases, look at that. That looks fake. Is that real? Hey, Dundee, is that real? I'm going to get 17 DMs tomorrow. Dundee, is that photo real? It looks fake. No, this is real. This is real. This stadium is incredible. It is please host a playoff game.
Provo's incredible.
All that area is great. Yeah.
Provo's incredible.
All that area is great. Look, please host a playoff game there. Please host a playoff game there. Let's get there. Let's get playoff games there. That is, I just don't know how anybody watches on Sunday and says, hey, this is good. When you have this on Saturday, when you have this and a bunch of other stadiums that are on this magnitude, I should say. What are you giving this thing?
10. I mean, they pack it in too, man. I mean, that thing is always sold out. That thing is always jumping. If they get a primetime game there, like that K-State game last year, or a couple of the Utah games. I mean, oh my God. I mean, K-State walked into a buzzsaw last year. This is easily 10 out of 10. This is a top 10, close to a top 5 stadium.
I look, I'm with you. And can you imagine last year, had we gone to the 16 team model, that, I don't want the auto bids. I just want 1 through 16 in the playoffs, right? Now BYU wouldn't have been hosting, unfortunately, but can you imagine a scenario where they were hosting? I think they're capable of beating anybody in America in the stadium. Anybody. I don't care. You go up there with that fan base, with that altitude, with that edge. It's a hard place to win, man. It's a hard place to win.
And
that's what I'm saying, man. I said altitude. Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, this place is incredible. It's crazy. We got some Utah fans in there. I love Rice Eccles too. All right. But this is better, in my opinion. This is still better, in my opinion. This is still better, in my opinion, man. Like, both are great though. And Folsom,
he gave it a 7.
He's a Utah fan. Look, their fan base is phenomenal. Look, I mean, honestly, the Big 12 having between this Utah, Colorado, even I think Arizona and Arizona State. I know Arizona State does. I think Arizona does too. Have mountains in the background. Those 5 with the mountains in the background, it's pretty phenomenal. Shout out to BYU football in the chat. It's they just do college football right, man. Everything about the way a college football game should be. Provo does it right. Lavell Edwards Stadium is a gold mine. I probably put 1,000 photos in here, Mac, just because I'm like, come on, man, this is incredible. Like this is the way a football game should be played. To me, it's just give me play the whole playoffs there. I don't care, right? Look at that. Kidding me? Come on. This thing.
Even Utah.
That's what I'm saying, man. Utah fans. He's doing a shtick. I get it. He's a Utah fan. He's still sour about that 1-point loss a year ago. No, don't
bring it up.
He's saying rest in peace, Rick Majerus. Whoa, this thing's taking a turn. The Holy War is one of my favorite rivalries in all of college sports. So look at this stadium, though, man. It's just incredible, man. Get yourself out. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you're living in Berlin. All right, get yourself out to a BYU football game. Are you kidding me? Just absolutely incredible. And look, I have one of these photos is when they first built this thing, just so you can compare it, Mac. When they first built this thing, it did not look like the castle it is today, this beautiful thing, but it was, I think we're close. We're getting close. It's just, there's too many nice photos. I'm just sitting over there scrolling through nice photos, be like, I got to add that one. I got to add that one. That is when they first built it. That
the mountain.
Yeah. I mean, look what they've done to the stadium. It got rid of the track and then just built that thing up. It's just phenomenal. They do college football right, and their fan base is incredible. So gets me to my next question, Mac. State of the program as we continue to look at just glorious shots of Lavell Edwards Stadium. Oh, it stormed the field. That's another thing I love about their fan base, Mac, is they storm the hell out of that field, as they should, because this is college football. All right. This is the history of college football. You storm often, you pay probably crazy enrollment everywhere. So you have the right to storm and remember that moment for the rest of your life. But yeah,
look at that photo.
Dude, I mean, this is just incredible. It's all incredible. Look at the storm. Look at that. That's college football right there, man. Don't listen to Sankey. I mean, I know that they don't listen to Sankey anyway, but man, great fan base. That's about 100 slots. I mean, look at this guy. I want to ask you this question. I had a hard time with state of the program because I believe you're seeing it in basketball. I believe BYU has the potential with the money they have, the fan buy-in they have, and the culture they set. They have the potential to me to reach 10 out of 10. I would say it's 8 out of 10 right now. Another thing that I think they'll benefit from is the age of their roster once we get further away from COVID. I think this is the final season with the COVID eligibility stuff. So I think, who knows? You have people that are testing that. But I gave it an 8 of 10 because I do think in the NIL market, this university can be really, really good at every sport they want. I know they haven't got, I mean, the baseball stadium is phenomenal, but they haven't got to the, like, being good in baseball, but basketball and football, they should, like, with the current way things are with the NIL, I don't understand why they're not top 20, top 15, top 10 almost every year. In basketball and football, they should be with the amount of resources they had. And if I were them, I would say we should go all in. We won a national championship in the 80s in football. We're capable of winning national championships in football and basketball every year moving forward. If I was like a BYU fan or an alum or something, that's what I would be saying. What do you give the state of the program?
I'm going to give it a 9. I mean, they finally got their crack into the Power 4, Power 5. They've been waiting forever. They did the transition year, then they win 11 games. They have so many good resources. We're seeing it in basketball with how much money they've invested in that roster. They're going to do the same in football. I'll give it a 9, man. BYU's got things going out there in Provo, so I'll give it a 9.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like it's slept on to me, that addition. I don't know why Larry Scott's so dumb, and these Pac-12 presidents were so dumb for so long. They're so dumb for so long. They're just, no, they're Mormons. It's a Mormon institution. We can't see that it's okay for other people to think differently than us. They must think exactly like us. And that is why we are the Pac-12. Yeah. How's that going for you? But anyway, let's talk about the schedule because, I mean, it's exciting times in Provo. Football, basketball. Let's go. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience, BYU style, is brought to you by Circa Millions and Circa Survivor. Yes, the world's greatest sports book, Circa Las Vegas, is hosting the world's biggest pro football contest. Circa Millions, Circa Survivor, and Circa Grandissimo with over $21 million in guaranteed prizes. You can't call yourself a true DJ if you're not competing in the Circa football contest. So what are you doing? Come hang out with SGPN at the Circa contest weekend, August 21st to August 23rd. And by the way, myself and Moneyline Mac, the college football experience, will be out there live at that same very time, staying at the Circa, recording live from the Circa for week 0, Farmageddon, and all that other good stuff. Portland State plays. Hey, BYU fans, you might want to watch Tarleton State at Portland State because you get those Vikings week 1. So there's a reason to tune in week 0. But yes, get out there. Live shows, open bars, plus we'll give you 15% off your stay at Circa just for riding with us with the promo code SGP15. And the contests are open for everyone, by the way. Sign up in Nevada. You can play from anywhere with the help of SGPN's official proxy. Go to footballcontest.com and use the promo code SGP to get $50 off those proxy fees. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. I mean, Underdog Best Ball Mania is happening all summer long. Giving away $15 million in prizes, including $2 million in first place. There's no waiver wire, no arguments about trades. Best ball is the best way to play fantasy football, they say. So what are you doing? Jump on over to Underdog Fantasy. But when you do, use our promo code TCE SGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits there. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCE SGPN. All right, we are back. And let's talk about that schedule because Portland State does get a week 0 game. And my friend June Jones did play quarterback for them way back in the day. Jerry Glanville coached there too. I mean, look, a lot of connections with this show in Portland State. But I think BYU will get it done. 1-0. But shout out to the Vikings of Portland State. They need an on-campus stadium, by the way. If anyone's listening in Portland, what are you doing? Let's get it going. 1-0 for these Cougs. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I got 1-0. The real Vikings of Portland State, baby. Let's go. I like this game on the schedule.
Yeah, a little
FCS
regionality
action.
too. I know those Western states are big if you drive through them. But give me an Oregon. Give me an Oregon
Yes.
BYU game. You know the Ducks probably didn't want to take on these Cougs, so Portland they had to settle with Portland State. Week 2, the Stanford Cardinal coming to town, and half of Stanford's best players are at BYU. Not half, but I'm being funny. But look, or not funny, depending on who you ask. Frank Wright, I talked to him at ACC Media Days, and he was a little more confident than I thought he should be, in my opinion.
Nice guy. He's getting a nice paycheck. They're going to get their ass.
I mean, I got him losing to Hawaii week 0 Stanford. That is, yeah. I mean, BYU, you can watch both your first 2 opponents. Now, is that a scary thought of getting 2 weeks of prep? No, BYU's 2-0. Who am I kidding? What are you doing here?
Yeah, BYU will beat him up in the trenches. Frank Reich, nice politician here, getting this nice check for 1 year. They're going to get their ass beat all year. BYU.
And then you make a trip. Oh, you got a bye week. Shout out to Jimmy Mack, baby. All right. But then you come out of that bye week and you make a trip to get rowdy at the Dowdy. Wait a second.
Uh-oh.
So I'm
Saturday
just trying to do the
night.
math here. You guys have been playing for 10 years. This series goes back 10 years. They've played 3 times. The first matchup, BYU did win under the Scotty Montgomery era. But the past 2, ECU has won, including the last one in Provo. We already did the ECU preview. This is what you get. You go cross country. Look, Kalani Sitake was at Big 12 Media Days. Oh, I watched every bit I could of him talking at Big 12 Media Days, and he said he's nervous about this game. He said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, we lost. We got our ass kicked last time we went out there to Greenville." And he goes, "I didn't know about that fan base." He goes, "That's a legit hard place to go and win." So of course, I got them dropping their first game here because they have the Colorado Buffaloes on deck, which I don't care what you say. It is a look ahead. What are you doing here?
Yeah. Yeah, I got ECU. I took ECU on that preview. I think they're going to be pretty good in Harrell's first true year. This is a hard travel spot too, man. Going out to East in the Carolinas. Give me ECU to beat them again here. G5 gets it done at home over Power 4.
I'll tell you this is going to be a game. Like if anyone thinks BYU is just going to come in there and crush them, I don't see how that happens. I really don't. Yeah, I think this is regardless. If ECU loses, it would be to me a close game. But I know you get a fucking top 25 team from a year ago coming into that place is going to burn down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they follow it up with back-to-back aways as they go to Boulder. And look, if you listen to our Colorado preview, I didn't really have much. I took the over. I didn't feel very comfortable about it. Mac took the under, but Mac, I don't know if you noticed this, but even today we have news from Deion Sanders, but over the weekend, the win total dropped to 5.5. This is where I feel better about that win total. And I also feel better about the press conference today where Deion is cancer free. Thank God. But tragic magic season in effect. Give me that win. And they beat them in the bowl game and they whooped their ass. And a lot of those BYU whooped their ass. So now they got to go to Folsom. Yeah.
Killed them.
So I think some of those guys like Jordan Seaton, some of the guys that remain on that team, I know they lost a lot of the skill position players, but I'm taking the Buffs 2-2. What are you doing here?
I took the Buffs in the Colorado preview. I'll stick with it. I don't feel good about Colorado. I'm happy as hell Deion's healthy, but I think that their team isn't very good. So maybe they get a little tragic magic here, revenge against BYU, who absolutely housed them in the Alamo last year. So 2-2.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough coming back from the East Coast too. I think that's part of why I like Colorado is it's back to back away. A couple of years ago, I went through. It was during COVID because I had a lot of downtime, like everyone else. But I went through and tracked teams' records. So it must have been the 2018 and 19 season, I think. Or maybe it was the 17, 18, 19 season. I'd have to pull it up again. But I believe teams lost the second end of the back-to-back away at like a 91% rate. Maybe it was 93%. I forget. I have to go back and look at the numbers. But that shit is legit. I was surprised at how accurate it was. And I'm talking Power 5. It was Power 5 only. They come out of the Colorado game and they come home to take on your boys, Rich Rod and West Virginia.
Friday night.
Good luck with that. I'm all over these Cougs. You need to go up there. You'd be trying to run Rich Rod's speed option. You'd be out of breath on a Friday night. Come on. What are you doing here? What'd you say on the show? What did you say on the show?
I'm trying to remember my breakdown. I ended up at 8-4 for West Virginia. I think I took the Mountaineers because they had lost 2 in a row. They just dropped the Utah game. I think BYU loses 3 in a row. Mountaineers are going to go out west and get it done here.
Wow.
2-3 for BYU.
No. Friday night? Are you kidding me? Have fun with that.
BYU's got no quarterback.
BYU is going to put it. They're going to be mad about that back-to-back away. They're going to put an ass whooping on these Mountaineers. Then they head to Tucson, take on friend of the program, Brent Brennan. Been on this show before. Look, love the regionality of this game. I find this game intriguing, dude. Like, I think Arizona is a little bit better than people think or will be this year. We haven't done our Arizona preview yet, but I kind of think they're a little bit flying under the radar, not as a contender, but as a team that I think can be a bowl team this year. Noah Fafita is now in his 3rd year as a starting quarterback. Give me Arizona. I think it's anyone's game, though. I think it's anyone's game. It would not shock me. I mean, BYU is so much better on the line of scrimmage than a lot of these Big 12 teams were last season. Arizona's got to work on that, but give me the Wildcats. What are you doing here?
I'll take BYU. 3 straight losses in my projection. So I think I think this is a toss-up. I'm with you. And they coming off 3 straight losses. They beat them up in the trenches last year. I think they're a little bit better once again. So I got 3.
We both got 3-3. And then, oh boy. First off, party foul. What do we have to do? I mean, can someone give me an address? Do I got to write my senator? I mean, what do I got to do to get Utah BYU the final week of the season like it was for so long? Your mark. Hey, Bozo. Yeah, you got one of the best rivalries in college sports, and you're playing it like what week is this? Like week 5, 6? I don't remember. Right? Week 7.
It's fucking October 18th. This should be
Black Friday. Yes,
Thanksgiving.
They did it for so long in the Mountain West, the WAC. Stop.
Yes.
Yeah, it's just like having. It's like having all these explosives and just not lighting the fuse when you're at war. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on. You got one of the best rivalries. People, in my opinion, like, they don't sell this rivalry good enough. I think this rivalry is on the same level as the ones that get the press. Army, Navy, Auburn, Alabama, Michigan, Ohio State, Red River Shootout. I think this is actually, like, from a hatred point of view, a backyard brawl, right? I think it's right there with those, and it just doesn't get the marketing. This is why it should be Friday. Yep. Put it on primetime Friday night and let the world find out about how great this rivalry is. Oh man, this game's awesome. Give me BYU though. If they lose to Arizona, I'll say this: between this and Arizona, they go 1-1. That's another reason why I like Arizona though. It's a look-ahead spot. What are you doing here?
All the nice things I've said about BYU so far in this episode, they're all gonna send me death threats now. I'm taking Utah. I'll take Whittingham in the revenge angle here. They let that game slip away. 4-string quarterback last year. I think Utah's going to be pretty damn good here this year. So I think the Utes get the revenge on the Cougs.
This is going to be Dampier's hardest test because he's never look. You were at New Mexico, and with all due respect, I am a big fan. Like he's never seen anything like this. That's
that
my logic.
That better be a 10:30 game. That better be a 10:30 game.
That's why I'm like as much as I am high on him, and I think he's going to be a beast in that offense. If there's one game that I think he might be like, oh my god, like okay. So I got him 4-3. Then they head to Ames a week after beating. I'll tell you this, man. They did no favors. They're if they win the Holy War. Now I will say this: if BYU loses the Holy War, I kind of like BYU as a live dog in this spot, assuming they're dogs. But I love to fade any team off of a gigantic rivalry win. And you're going on the road to Ames, all over Iowa State here. What are you doing here?
Yeah, this is their first trip to Ames too. I got Iowa State. I got them 3-5 right now.
First trip in the Big 12. One of the things when doing this piece, building the slides, Iowa State's 5-0 all time against BYU. Interesting. I would have not bet on that. But yeah, I got this as a loss, and that puts us at what 4-4, correct? Are you 5? Woo!
I get them 3-5, 4.
They get a bye week. Shout out to Lavell Edwards. A shout out to the great Ty Detmer. His brother Coy is on the staff at Utah. Disgusting. Then they come out of that and they head to Lubbock, Texas. Texas Tech, maybe the most interesting team in college football with all the money they've thrown behind there. What did I say on the Texas Tech? I think I took Texas Tech, but I don't. I mean, these Big 12 games are all so hard to project. I'll take Texas Tech though, and that puts me at what 4-5. And it puts you at what? What are you doing in this game?
I got Tech. I got 3-6, man. I mean, this is the problem with the Big 12, though. I mean, when you overachieve so many by so many games the previous year, usually you come back and regress a little bit, and the schedule gets a little bit harder. I mean, brutal back-to-back road spot in Ames and then at Lubbock.
Yeah, and then you come home to take on the TCU Horned Frogs and Sonny Dykes and Josh Hoover. This game's pretty fascinating to me. I called for a BYU upset on the TCU preview, and a lot of that has to do with running the air raid on like November 17th or something, whatever day this is. This is going to be a game, though. It's going to be a game. I'm excited to watch this, but I'll take BYU to bounce back and get that 5th win. 5-5. What are you doing here?
I'll co-sign. Yeah. Like the matchup here, TCU, an Old Mountain West matchup here, TCU, BYU. Yeah, give me BYU 4-6.
5-5 for me. And then a trip to Cincinnati. Is Satterfield coaching? I need to know the context here. Is Satterfield coaching this game? It's a strange road trip too. I'll take Cincinnati. I could totally see BYU winning this game. I could totally see BYU winning. I need to know who the hell.
Cincinnati never finishes.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Cincinnati never finishes the year strong. Give me BYU 5-6.
I can see it. All right. Maybe you swayed me here. I just need to know, like, I think there's a decent shot Satterfield's gone. If not, if he's here, I actually think Cincinnati can win this game and probably might even be favored by 2.5 or something. But with the uncertainty, give me BYU. Sitake's team always gets someone that you're not thinking. So, all right, give me. So I'm at 6-5. You're at what? 4-7?
I'm 5-6.
Oh, I can't do math. Then UCF comes. This is just a hilarious game. UCF's not winning this game in Provo.
Senior day.
Good luck. And for me, it's for a bowl. No, actually, no, it's not, because I'm 6-5. So it's 7 to go 7-5. I still don't see. I mean, this is gonna be cold as shit. It's November 29th. Yeah, 7-5. 7-5. But the reason why that is interesting, Mac, is with the Retzlaff transfer or whatever he's doing. He says it's not a transfer. He's just enrolling at Tulane, walking on at Tulane. I would say like what I was saying was like the win total dropped. It was at 7.5. Now it's at 6.5. So why this matters is I'm right on that number, and I got him going over at 7.5. You know, at 7-5, over 6.5 wins. You, no matter what though, have them at what? Do you have a 7-5 or 6-6?
I had him at 6-6. I had him win the last 3 to go to 6-6. I was going to get BYU to a bowl game. I think they have too much pride with Sitake to miss another bowl game 2 out of 3 years. They'll find a way to get back to a bowl game.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I mean I just feel like they're always going to be in the mix. I got them 7-5. I do not bet this. Now, if you had this at 7.5, we were talking, and this is. We put all of these teams in a randomizer, and this is the day we got for BYU back on May 30th or something. If this was at 7.5 with Retzlaff, I was actually going to lock up the under, but now it's at 6.5.
Yeah,
I think they're going to go 7-5 or 6-6. I think 6-6 is more likely than 8-4. I think you do too.
I agree, because I mean they have 6 true road games.
Yeah.
And they have 6 road games in tough atmospheres. I mean, ECU in Greenville, going to a G5 that's going to be rowdy. Go to Boulder, go to Ames, go to Lubbock,
Tucson. Yeah.
They got to go to Tucson and Cincinnati. Yeah, I mean, and then they got the Holy War as well, and games against teams like TCU and West Virginia. That those aren't gimmies. So they don't have a lot of gimmies on the schedule outside of Portland State and Stanford. I think 2-0 to start the year. So tough road spot. I think they go 6-6. I think it's a little bit of regression, but I don't think the bottom falls out. Like
let me look at the schedule from a bird's eye point of view. Angela in the chat is saying BYU optimists say it's 8 wins, but what if 9? The ceiling to me, there is a scenario, Mac, where they could start off 6-0. What if Colorado's not that good and West Virginia's not ready and Arizona is just a mess, and they got the bodies that they take down ECU? There is a world where they're 6-0 heading into the Holy War. In that case, I would take Utah to win that game, by the way.
Those next 4 games are brutal, though.
But what this? So I'm trying to say the ceiling though. If you start out 6-0, I do like them getting TCU at home. I do think 9-3 is the absolute most this team could do.
Yeah.
Now the flip side of that coin is, what's the worst they could do? They lose to ECU. They lose to Colorado. I know you have Dundee. I don't think Dundee will be there yet in week 6. With that timing of that offense, as much as I love Rich Rod back in West Virginia, I think it's going to work. I just don't know that week 6 is when you're going to have that timing down. So 3 losses, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, honestly,
5 and 7.
I think they could be like the absolute worst, 4-8. Like if Cincinnati's actually good, that game changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I mean, they won 4 games by 1 score last year and won 4 games chaotically. The SMU game they kind of controlled, but the Oklahoma State game was a shit show of a game. The Utah win was chaotic. So they won some crazy games last year. But yeah, I'm with you. I think there is a path, but I think their culture finds a way to at least manage the regression and get.
Yeah, they're gonna be a bold team. I have too much faith in Sitake and Jay Hill. Yeah. Gonna be fascinating to see what they do with the quarterback spot. What if Bachmeier's just a fucking beast and we have no idea that he's just nasty? Then they go 9-3. We all look like idiots. But I am on the over though, so I guess I wouldn't look like too much of an idiot. I just don't think anyone should lock this. I don't actually see any play that I really like from a future standpoint. Nothing. I got him 7-5. I'm on the over. Do not bet this game, or do not bet this total. You got him. Do you feel good about your bet?
No. I mean, I had them 6-6, but if you flip the West Virginia game, then they're 7-5. So I think they're a 7-5 or 6-6 team. I think they're a middle of the pack Big 12 team next year. We have questions at the quarterback position. They lost their quarterback middle of the summer. Even the most pro BYU fans, that still is a little bit of a transition. And they overachieved like crazy last year. So I think they'll be solid, but this isn't going to be a magical year like last year.
Yeah. Shout out to Myron Kidd, longtime friend of the program. Will Sitake keep his job? If they go 6-6, I still think he deserves. I mean, that's what I was saying, Mac. When you lost internet, that's what I'm saying. Like, to me, I don't understand why. Twice they've wanted him fired at times. He's on the hot seat. I think the guy's a good coach. So, yeah. It's gonna be fascinating to watch. There's nothing like a game in Provo, and there's nothing like BYU football. I love it. I will always appreciate it, and I'm excited about the basketball season as well. But Mac's on the under, I'm on the over. Give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. Let him know your thoughts, BYU Nation. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. We're breaking out all 136 teams. YouTube.com/The College Experience. It's also the hub for our college basketball show and college baseball show. So get on over there. YouTube.com/The College Experience. Hit that like and subscribe button. Also check out those episodes that are an audio form only. iTunes, Spotify, stuff like that. And remember, folks, in about 20 minutes, we will be going live with the UTEP Miners out of the Conference USA, but they'll be in the Mountain West next year. BYU, hey, you used to be in the Mountain West. Enjoy the slideshow on the way out. I went out of my way to honor BYU history with their program. It's a phenomenal program, phenomenal history. So check out the slideshow here to close things out. This is the College Football Experience, BYU Cougar style. You better start thinking about yours. And we out of here.
Mailbox 1, 7, message 1.
I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart my body and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun my body and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo my body and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. We're the obsession to be a part of that, started that. Mind over matter don't matter in the market. I've seen much smarter cats have heart attacks, largely because leaders need lambs to be lethargic. Match wits with the half-wit phantom. I don't need jumper cables or mic cords to analyze an analytical anthem. Between my two ears, an engine pumping the life force. Force field for your grip on the grievance. Still gonna feel unchallenged and bored stiff. So we're raising pieces to prepare cohesive. All the hard work will go largely ignored if your hands are covered with post-its and paper cuts. You need to have your voice in the vice grip. The one who made it famous ain't the one who made it up. You don't get overtime just for working the night shift. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart mind, body, and soul, or nothing without heart. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun mind, body, and soul, or nothing without love. And I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo mind, body, and soul, or nothing without truth. And I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Every time I close my eyes, I take it to the same place, a playing field, and every contestant's got the game face. Everybody's yelling, you ought to play it safe. Make sure them shoes are tied and ankles tape. Shake the cobweb, hit the ground running. This is how cunning I can get with the footwork. You're doing it right, well, it shouldn't hurt. Flirt with greatness, still outrun the famous. Nice high heels, I got mics for spikes. Trampling the home team, man, they're turf for life. For the few fleet of foot, too fast for me. I fear none, cause I run and ignore the pair of feet by the tree, they're the fast asleep. In love with the game, you adore the hair. I believe in achievement. My soul isn't rewarded just cause the season goal moves toward it. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself. Conspiracy theories, gotta love them clearly. Nothing's more entertaining than entertaining a query. Just the words of the wise and the weary. Recognize the authors of reality and theory. Theoretically, I could have won Scribble Jam. In reality, I lost to a legend. Theoretically, I'm best friends with Uncle Sam. In reality, I've never even met him. Now, one day my potential may become reputation. Until then, I'm still a work in progress. I suggest you question what I'm saying. If anything, to become familiar with the process. My agenda may suit your needs. When I say your bill of rights has been ripped to shreds, but if it defends what you believe, hold ear to your truths and scream fuck seeds. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outsmart. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without heart. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outrun. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without love. I'm not saying I'm impossible to outdo. Mind, body, and soul, and nothing without truth. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you're nothing without yourself.